And the amount of people who message me being like, actually, I have had thinning hair forever, or once I turned this age, got a lot worse, or once I had kids, or once I entered the job market, or whatever it is, there was a switch for them and they noticed how poor their hair was doing. And I thought, you are my people, because this is what's happening to me and I would like to solve this problem.
Hello, my name is Brandi Hofer, your host of the Color Me Happy podcast. I am so glad you're here. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. If you want more weekly content just like this, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out on Instagram at Brandi Hofer Studios anytime. I'm happy to chat. That's where I sit. And I'm so glad you're here, and I cannot wait for you to dive in. So give us a like and subscribe and check the rest of our channel out. Start again. Welcome, Jill. I'm so glad you're here. Jill has been on the podcast several times, talking about several topics, which we are both very passionate about. So I encourage you to tune in and check those out too. Today, we're talking about something really cool. And Jill is the founder of Red Bicycle Communications, but most recently, she's the founder of Bareology Beauty. And you kind of founded, I want to hear the story because I haven't heard exactly like why and how it happened. And I can't wait for listeners to find out more. I have tried your products. They are very amazing. They smell very good. I've had a lot of accidents, and Jill has been so kind to refill my accident. I'm just a clumsy kind of gal, and
blame it on the kids.
Yeah, and / kids, and yeah, I've gotten a little bit mad over the spills, but your product is amazing and the branding is gorgeous. So
thank you.
I want to talk about all of that, and then not only that, but we message quite frequently over feminine products mostly that are on the market that are it's shocking. So I want our listeners to know a little. You can just simply use ChatGPT. Everyone's afraid of it, but like you can ask it like 3 simple questions and it'll tell you exactly what you're using on your body that you should be more aware of as a consumer moving forward. And it can be overwhelming, but just like I cleared out my bathroom recently and got rid of some stuff and have slowly moved into fully natural products, but I love yours the most. And for women our age, we all struggle with hair loss at some point with having children or stress and hormones and loss. So let's hear about Jill's journey right from the beginning of what inspired you to create this product and then develop it into a brand, which of course you're good at. But
I have an unfair advantage with that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. No, well, okay. So back up to, what would that be? 2001. I had my my second child in 2020. He was a COVID baby. And I don't know, it was just like postpartum hair loss, completely normal. I shouldn't say everything.
Also the fucking worst.
It is. You're already not feeling great and all your hair falls out. And I understand it's biological and there's like psychology behind it. And I think it's so fascinating. But for those who are interested in that, the gist is when you're pregnant, you have more hair, your skin is glowing, and the psychology behind it is that your body is signaling to the other sex to say, look, I'm fertile. Look how great I am. Look what a great potential partner I am for you, even though obviously you've already mated. And then when you have the baby, your hair falls out. Their studies show your bones shift slightly. You're tired, obviously.
What? Your bones shift?
Oh my gosh.
I did not know this.
It's so interesting. Anyway, you're tired, you're taking care of a newborn, totally normal. And your hair falls out, and it's to signal to the other sex to say, I'm busy. You don't be attracted to me. I'm busy taking care of this newborn.
Fuck right up. There's a lot of fucks already to begin the podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, a lot of deep dive here. Anyway, so my hair was falling out again, totally normal, but it wasn't coming back. And I, like many young moms, was relying on putting my hair up in a bun on the top of my head to do my day because I have a kid. Just put it up, let's go. And then I honestly would sleep in it, and I would wake up in the morning just to take my hair out to put it right back up again, so it looked a little bit more refreshed. I was using just dry shampoo, which is, some of it is okay, but I was using it in excess, and it was just not good. And I wasn't taking care of my scalp. I wasn't taking care of my hair. I wasn't taking care of myself at all. And so, yeah, my hair started falling out and it just didn't grow back. And I thought I was at the breaking point when my son was 11 months old. And I just remember thinking, I already have thin hair. My genetics are not this big, luscious piece that I want to see from TV, which are wigs. So I'm already on the end of the scale where this is going to be noticeable when I start losing my hair. And it was very, very bad. And I'll send you some photos that you could put up on the screen too, if you like. But my hair was basically see-through. Like you could see not just through the chunks of strands, like you could see there was nothing there. And I was so utterly embarrassed and heartbroken. And for women, I don't feel like it's as common to be bald or as socially accepted to be bald, where men, it just happens. It's normal. But it's normal for women too. And on either end, men or women, I think that we want to hold on to what hair we have. It's part of our culture. It's part of our look. It's part of our society. And it's also really, I like it. I like my hair and I didn't want it to fall out. So anyway, I started down the journey of what can I do? And I started looking at hair oiling, among other things, but hair oiling was the one that I really liked. And I saw a lot of good results from it. And then I started Googling the company that I was using, and I won't say which one it was, but it was a big, big brand, which made me feel like, oh, it's a good brand. It's a big brand. It should be trustworthy. They were in cancer-causing lawsuits and hair loss-causing lawsuits. And I thought, that can't be good. So I switched immediately to a different brand, a smaller brand. And I just found that it was like I was still doing it, but it wasn't wasn't working as well. And I couldn't figure out why. So I started looking at ingredients and I discovered that their oils were awful. It was just, there's no reason to add that product in it if not just to pad the bottom line. And right. I just thought that was so incredibly unethical that you would throw in junk into your product and then try to market it to women or to anybody.
Up until your product, I was doing olive oil. That was because it's, and I don't even know how great that is, but it worked. But I just couldn't find anything that didn't have some weird shit in it.
Yeah, and that's my problem. Is there's so much unnecessary stuff in it that we
like coconut oil. Coconut oil is in everything, and
yes.
It's not good for you. It's actually a drying oil.
It's a highly debated ingredient for sure, and I don't use it in our products in Bareology because I couldn't find any solid rationale to add it in.
Also not good to ingest, but I mean, everyone do your own thing, but
yeah. Whatever works for you is great.
Right.
But yeah, I do
some research.
Just look it up. I could not fathom how much junk was in it. And then I started going down the rabbit hole of, well, there's food grade quality and then there's cosmetic grade quality. And the difference between those two was staggering. And I thought, well, why would that be? And their justification is cosmetic grade can be lower because you're not ingesting it. Okay. However, I am putting it on the largest organ of my body that is then absorbing into my bloodstream. Should it not be of a certain caliber? And so that bothered me. and all the additives. I kept learning about, I think it was olive oil. Was it olive oil? And there's no olive oil in our product, but it was just, you think you're getting it from one region, but it's from 3 different, and it's synthetic now, and they don't have to tell you. And I was just,
oh gosh,
I know, I'm blown away by all this stuff that I'm like, this can't possibly be true. And sadly it is. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just how hard could this be? And I went into a rage and did tons of research, both online, primary and secondary research, where I did online research and I did testing. And so I would order oils from a really good, reputable source. And they were all 100% organic. They were all, there's a purpose to each individual oil that I ordered. None of it was just to like pad the bottom line kind of thing, like that second company. And I started experimenting and playing with them and seeing what felt good on my skin and on my hair and how it could last. And yeah, 2 years later, I found the formula that is now in our Bareology Beauty products. So, and then I found it and I started going, this is kind of working for me, but I want to make sure it's not just me. So I sent it out to some friends, some family, some colleagues, people that I knew would tell me it's shit if it was shit. And it was amazing, the results that many of them, actually all of them, were getting and coming back with, and they're still active customers and clients of mine. And I'm like, their testimonials warm my heart so much. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I want to like jump back a few steps.
Yeah.
So when we talk about putting things in our body and the fact that hormones were the reason you lost your hair in the first place, and hormones can get thrown off balance with it's like distress, cortisol, whatever, and then hormones after a baby, and whatever the reason for your hair loss. So many of these products also, which I wanted, because you're more of a researcher than I am. I'm just a dork who like just for pastime. And I love the Yuka app where you can scan it and it tells you exactly what's in. It's free. It's YUKA and it's a little carrot. It literally tells you like M&Ms have titanium dioxide and the red dye and whatever, right? It tells you exactly what's in something and why you shouldn't use it and what's the hazardous material. So that's a good start for people.
Mm-hmm.
But when you use these products and you are using them on your biggest organ, the main issues are hormonal imbalances, which causes the hair loss in the first place, right? Mostly nervous system. And can you share with the audience a little bit of knowledge around like that? Like when you use these products, like what are they doing to your body that you found in your research?
Well, and I don't want to speak for everyone, and I definitely am not a chemist or a pharmacist or a doctor or any of that stuff. So I would highly encourage, if somebody is having any issues like that, to go check with their doctor, get their thyroid checked, get blood work done, all that stuff. But one of the things that you can do naturally is exercise, get rid of that stress in a healthy way, and watch what you're putting in and on your body. And that includes from what you're eating to the products you're using. I am guilty of this too, so no judgment for people. But I used to like wash my face when I was out and about with just baby wipes. And now I think, oh my gosh, what was I doing? That's not good. Even I had the scent-free.
That's one of the worst things you can do, apparently.
Well, and it rubs your skin really aggressively, and they're just full of chemicals and all this stuff. But even, and we've talked about this too, but even the things that have gone on recently that with regards to tampons and pads, and it wasn't until July 2024 that anybody bothered to do any investigations on what is in this product. So having
literally arsenic, arsenic, throwing that up your vaginal canal, which is absorbs things.
highly absorbent area of your body, and you're just putting chemicals in it. And it is mind-boggling to see how much came back from that. So for those who don't know, in July 2024, so just this past July, a research, where is it? I'm going to find it. There's a research done from the University of California in Berkeley, and they revealed presence of toxic metals, including lead and arsenic, in various tampon brands across UK, US, Greece, all that. And it was just amazing to me. And I thought one of the health risks with it is that we did not know that that was happening. One, there's no consumer awareness. There's no consumer warning labels like you would find on cigarettes, for example. I don't know if anybody bothered to ask the question beforehand, quite honestly. But the biggest thing is that when you insert that into your vaginal canal that's highly absorbent, you're not ingesting it. So it's not going through the liver to detoxify it. It's going directly into the body. So that's where it becomes very dangerous. And again, not a doctor or scientist, so take that with a grain of salt there. But
these are facts we can find as consumers.
You can,
you don't have to be a doctor to figure this out. Like, you don't have to be, and you are your own health advocate, because a doctor's not the answer all the time. In fact, like 80% of the time, the doctor isn't the exact answer. Knowing from experience of seeing doctors and naturopaths and people who give so many different treatments, and Chinese medicine doctors and acupuncture and massage and chiropractor, there's no real answer. You have to advocate for yourself, and you have to do just like the simplest, smallest bit of research. And I don't want to scare anyone, but you do, it's directly inhaling a cleaning product. Don't want to do it. We want you here as long as possible, living your best life with your best self so you can be around your loved ones. Time is our most precious commodity. And so why not just do that extra bit of effort? We have a local woman, Jackie Dunham, who does hormone. She actually specializes in perimenopause and menopause, but also will just measure your hormones. What's going on with it? Okay. What could you change in your life? What are you eating? What are you putting on your body? What are you what is causing all this estrogen, or what is causing this spike in testosterone, which those things naturally fluctuate. Like testosterone actually it's so funny. This is a dork. Testosterone fluctuates higher when we're on our periods. So actually we're more like men on our periods. Was that on your page, or where was that fact from?
I saw that. I don't know.
Yeah, you saw that. Maybe I sent it. It's like we're more like men on our periods. We have more testosterone running through our veins than we do leading up to and after. So fun fact, just for those people out there who are like, oh, on your period. Yeah, you're more like a man. When you're crying and emotional, if that's what it feels like to be a man, I don't want to be signed up for it.
Count me out. The funny thing
of being a man.
Going back a bit to the tampon piece, one of my colleagues here had mentioned, well, sometimes when you cultivate the land, there's natural occurring lead and arsenic in the land already, and it comes from fertilizers and all that stuff. And so people probably didn't intentionally put those chemicals in. And to my rebuttal, I say, not this level. Because yes, arsenic is actually higher found in the organic tampons and pads because it is.
Are you serious? I just offloaded all my OBs and went for the organic cotton ones from Nutters. Come on, Jill. I need a solution.
Just a free bleed.
I am a heavy bleeder, and if I use a cup, it's like a murder scene. And if
You have to
I'm
change it in the shower. That's my biggest recommendation to you.
okay, so heavy bleeder in the first 2 days, I'll just be, because I always am, perfectly honest. I would be in the shower every hour of my first 2 days of my period.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Good luck
we're
to you.
talking, yeah, like if I'm, say this weekend I'm gone to hotels,
But you
hockey
know what?
rinks, coffee
Somebody
shops, I
listening to
can't
this,
I can't walk out of the bathroom with the quarter cup of blood and all over my hands because I reached into my canal for that cup and just dump it in the sink. Like I
dump it in the
can't.
toilet. But yes,
I know, but like
listening to this, they should get mad, and then they solve that problem. I solved the hair problem. Somebody solved the tampon problem.
yes, please, someone,
But the
anyone,
other reason,
and then message me with your product and send it my way.
Yes, please send it to everybody.
I'll be your biggest
one
customer.
thing too, for like I said, well, why? How can we have these levels? What was it? Hold on, of arsenic. How can arsenic be in tampons? And I'm just picking on tampons. It's also in pads, but like for not being just in the ground. And they use it for the lubrication, like for it to be easily insertable to whiten the product itself, so it's not dyed a funny color.
Titanium dioxide, our best friend in toothpaste and paint.
And for odor control. Just so many reasons why you would, as the manufacturer, want to put it in. But think about your consumer's health. That's where what boggles my mind is that I understand from a capitalist perspective, the benefits of having something like that in there. However, that is poison. So right there, it seems like a no-go to me, but hey, that might
no, I changed toothpaste a long time ago, and then I dipped the toothpaste in baking soda because the dentist is like, you gotta do that if you're using natural toothpaste because it's like gritty and it'll get your Starbucks matcha for teeth. Like downing, and look, my teeth, they're fine, and my gums, and I've been using natural toothpaste for 2 years because I found out that what's in my paint, all my paint, make it white, is in my toothpaste, and it's like, it's only harmful if you swallow it, and I'm like, yeah, but it's in my mouth, so probably I'm swallowing a little bit 2 or 3 times a day every time I brush my teeth. So no thanks.
Be a pass.
Yeah,
it blows my mind how we've come to this point as consumers, and I think that the fact that these companies are able to get away with this for so long dumbfounds me, quite honestly.
It's actually really sad.
It just shows that there's like these regulatory gaps in our like by the agencies, like by Health Canada, for example. How is it not that these are more stated, more prevalent? How are we as consumers not provided with that information? And we have to actually go searching for it. Where shouldn't you, like as just a layman person, I would assume that it is the government's job or just like the company's job, anybody's job, just to not to sell me poison. So I feel like we've just sadly put too much reliance on government agencies doing that, but also not enough pressure on them to say, hey, you need to regulate this more because this is not okay. And the hard part too, and I'm not sure how many people have gone through this process, but I'm with Bareology Beauty, we have an account with Health Canada. Every time that I sell a product or make a product, I register it. I go through testing. I go through like, here's all my data. Here's how we've cleaned everything proper, But it's all self-reported. So like, I like to think of myself as pretty ethical, and I give all the information I possibly can. But there's people out there who are selectively putting in their information. And unless it brings a red flag up,
it's just out there.
And that bothers me. But unlike like cigarettes where they have that warning label on them, I don't see that on tampons, on pads, on anything.
These are the leading brands. You'll have them in your cupboard already. These are the top
that
leading brands are the
everyone
most
sees them.
guilty. Yeah.
Yeah. And we need as consumers to put that pressure on our governments to say, this is not okay. And we need to be protected and at least at bare minimum informed. Like if you want to buy smokes after knowing how terrible they are for you, okay. Do I think you should smoke? No, they're terrible for you. But at the end of the day, at least you understand that and you're entering into that with some sort of knowledge. We can talk about the ethics behind that and the long-term effects down at a different podcast. I wrote one of my political science papers on smoking, and so we can go down that path a different time. But for this purpose, we'll keep it a little higher level.
Sure.
But yeah, so just talk to your people, talk to the government, let them know how outraged you are. Everyone should have contact with their MLA or at least know who they are. And if you don't know who they are, that's okay. You can Google it. Who is my government representative for this area, wherever area you live in? You can
or be like Jill and just create your own thing out of a gap in the market that you saw.
Out of pure rage is where Bareology came from.
And I think, and I'm not going to say this is a blanketed term, but as a female entrepreneur, you're likely going to be more ethical and put more care into your product that is made mostly for women. Your product probably can be used for men as well.
I have a lot of male consumers too, but it is more female focused because that's where I was.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe a lot of these companies in Caracas, they're not putting a tampon up their vag. You know what I mean? Like they're not and this is something that happens to us monthly for the majority of our lives. And so this impacts us. So where you don't see something and you see people doing these sort of adventures all the time. And it's really cool that you've done it because you're inspiring through example what others can do and what we need to do in this world in order to combat these big issues. If this is something that's really hitting home for you, create your own thing. Create your own thing. It may seem hard, but it's not impossible. And that's smaller people creating these small businesses and providing that example of what a small business can be and how it's better for our people and better for our world is what is going to change the world.
100%. And I love that because for me, Bareology was built out of the frustration and rage that came with it. And I thought, how hard could this be? And I did my own research, took it, found something that worked and thought, do you remember in school when your teacher would say, if you have a question, ask it because there's probably 10 other kids in the class who have the same question but are too scared to ask? That's the mentality that stuck with me during this process with Bareology, is where I thought, if I have this problem, there's probably 10 other people out there who have the same problem. Why not solve it for not only myself, but for them as well? And so that's where I went and I said, this is what's happening to me. Shared my journey. Anybody interested in participating in this little study that I'm having? And the amount of people who messaged me being like, actually, I have had thinning hair forever. Or once I turned this age, got a lot worse. Or once I had kids, or once I entered the job market, or whatever it is, there was a switch for them and they noticed how poor their hair was doing. And I thought, you are my people, because this is what's happening to me and I would like to solve this problem. But also for anybody who's looking for a little bit of motivation to start their own thing, same thing is tampons exist, pads exist. We know this, those period panties exist. That's fabulous that there's these options, the cups. But that is just showing you that there are paths forward. Like I didn't invent hair oiling. That concept already existed. I just turned it around and said, how can I make it better? How can I make it ethical? How can I make it safe? And how can I make it so it's high quality that I actually feel safe and comfortable using, that I hope other people do too? So do that with feminine products. Do that with anything, honestly.
You don't have to quit your full-time job, or like you're a parent, you are a business owner. You didn't quit doing those things to
they wouldn't
follow
let
this
me quit
path.
parenting.
Yeah, darn it. No.
Yeah.
And definitely, yeah, that was a good joke.
Thanks.
Anyway.
This podcast is just us laughing at each other.
Yeah, I enjoyed your joke. But you did like 15 minutes, half an hour a day to slowly follow this passion, this thing that you are totally obsessed with that can help other people. I think could be one of the most beautiful journeys of your life. And it could, again, impact the world in a really cool way and affect other people's lives. So, you know, and it doesn't have to be super product. It could be anything. Like I'm teaching people a drawing trick.
Find what you hate and then
love it. You know,
that's my thing. Find what you hate and fix it. And then the other thing is like it's already out there. If they can do it, you can do it. So it might take some time and effort and skill, but you can learn those things. Don't count yourself short. I'm not a chemist. I dove into this.
We had Wildcraft on, Laura Whitaker. She's on or I guess this will come for podcast time. We had her on 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. Laura Whitaker, founder of Wildcraft in Toronto. And same thing. I like natural stuff. I like being out in nature. I want something fully natural, and it's not here. I don't want to be the biggest skin company in the world, but I want products that I can use that I feel good about having on my body. Simple as that. Then you start having a partner, then you have a small team, then you and she talked about growing very slowly and steadily, and that was her plan, and it worked. And so it's totally possible for others.
Absolutely.
Okay, Jill, this last and final question is sponsored by Red Bicycle Communications.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah. Describe an ideal day. It can be totally imaginary. It can be doing whatever the heck you want, wherever you want. Our audience wants to know, what does Jill want to do?
What do I want to do? Honestly, I want to wake up, do my hair. And I know that sounds crazy, but I love doing it now that I have so much of it.
It's gorgeous. And your curl is like,
love it. But yeah, I get up, do my hair, go probably grab a cup of coffee from a local shop here, go thrifting, go walk around, visit local shops, and then probably I want to say go swimming with my kids, but I don't want to wreck my hair. So something like that though. But yeah, before we go though, I have to tell you this one story.
Okay.
I even had a mom message me. She bought the hair oil for herself, and her kid's 3 now. So she's over the postpartum hair loss, but she just wanted to have nicer hair. And her kid has the worst scalp, what's it called?
Cradle cap?
Yes, thank you. The worst cradle cap you've ever seen at 3 years, where he was losing chunks of hair, would not grow back in that space.
Oh.
And within 2 or 3 uses, she put this on and she's like, I've never seen it better ever. And I told that to my sister-in-law, and she's using it on her kid's hair, and she's like, it's amazing. And so I just think, how many other applications could we be using just natural, like products that are built for your body?
I want to rub your product everywhere all the time, and I have to like stop myself. I'm like, because I have psoriasis. I'm like, psoriasis, neck, skin. I just rub it on. Like, dude, take it easy on your bottle here. Like, it's not
gonna last too long, but you know what?
It smells and it glows and it is nice. So it's really hard not to like rub all over all the time. And now that we've talked about products, that even olive oil, like, what the heck am I supposed to put on my body? I don't want to do anything, you know?
I am working on a face oil right now. I have to do I'm in the part of the process where I like the product. So now step 2 is getting other people to see if they like the product.
Yeah, you don't want to clog pores.
No. And
No.
I have always had bad skin, and I cannot tell you the amount
Shut up.
Oh,
Your
God.
skin's so great.
Okay, I was just gonna say I've not told you the amount of people who have complimented me on my skin in the last like 6 months is because I've been using this oil. And
Okay, I want some.
yes, I'll send it to you to try. You can be one of my guinea pigs, but you have to give me honest feedback. None of this yes person stuff.
Okay. I'm also in the stage though where my treatments are almost done. So it might be like this, like everything comes together. Jill's face cream solved everything. No, I'm at the end of like an acne slash getting rid of the scars treatment. So like if I start using your face stuff, like it'll be like this huge, insane transformation. Because you can't see it because I'm wearing makeup, but like I have scars all over everywhere, and melasma.
Yeah.
So people often don't know what I mean when I say melasma, also caused by hormones and triggered by some skin treatments. But like brown spots, all like I had a mustache in the summer. That was cool. Like not a hair mustache, but a brown lip mustache.
Yeah.
So it's clear. Like you can't see it, but like look, I'm so excited because it's starting to clear up.
Good.
And so that's another podcast story for a different day. But
that's right. Like
I'm excited.
Your skin, your hair, it's the one of the first things people see, right? And I know I want to say
such a confidence boost.
I want to say it doesn't matter what you look like. I love you regardless, and I do. But I also am a person, and I feel better when I don't have hair falling out or don't have a brown lip, right?
Yeah, right. I don't have. My sister actually looked at me. She's like, "What's happening to your face?" I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "You have a mustache." I'm like, "Yeah, I see that every fucking day I wake up, and you can't cover up. Melasma doesn't like cover up well. Like you can see it through makeup. It's so dark." So yeah, I don't want a Movember mustache. But I didn't grow one. But that is so true. Like my confidence is so much higher when I feel good in my own skin and hair and all these things. And if we can figure out a natural way that we feel good about, why not do that self-care? Why not feel good? Step into, you'll just have a better day. I personally have a better day when I feel good.
And the thing with me is I haven't done surgery. I haven't done anything drastic. It's just literally putting the proper oil on my scalp so that it nourishes the scalp enough that it cleans it. It has antibacterial, antimicrobial properties, and goes into your scalp and setting it up for success so that your hair can start growing healthy from the beginning. And then I have it on the ends where as it grows, it's still being protected. So it grows longer, it breaks less. It is just one of those things where I'm like, and it's one product. I often get asked, "Oh, I want the scalp one, or I want just the ends one." I'm like, all you need is one.
Which is awesome. You're not trying to sell people all these things. You would if you were unethical. It's just separate the two, and they're the same.
I know, and
product.
I was like, shoot, I should have sold 2 things, but no, I don't want to. I don't want a million different products.
And we'll end with, because we got to end, because day, and I'm sure your day is nuts. Like, how often do you recommend people use your product, and then how do they use it? I keep touching my head because I'm like imagining using it, but and I do
it's just
use
like
it.
Anything, consistency is key. So if you think of it like if you're going to the gym, if you go to the gym for once a month, it's not like good. That's a start, but it's not going to do as much, right? So I say, I use the oil on my scalp probably 2 times a week. And if you follow me on my social medias on Bareology Beauty, Bareology.beauty on Instagram, or now Facebook, we just got Facebook, and TikTok, I post on there twice a week. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing my hair oiling. So you can follow along and do it with me. But I do the scalp twice a week, and I just put it directly on me. So this is the bottle, and I'll just open it up, and I'll take squeeze the topper, and I'll take one applicator full, so about that much, and I'll just put it on my part, and then I'll section my hair this way, and then I'll do this way, and then I'll do the back just to get a pattern, and massage it in. let it soak for anywhere from 20 minutes to 6 hours. And then I do a double shampoo and condition my ends as normal. Just the ends, I put a couple little drops in my hand, rub them together, get a little bit of chop. I go very, very light because it's easier to add than to take away oil from your hair. And then I'll do the ends like this, even when my hair is straight. And that's it. And I can do just the ends treatment daily if I want it. I probably end up doing it 2 to 3 times a week. And yeah, you can go on with your day.
Yeah. Awesome. So you do like, you have your ends as like a daily, like it's in your hair while you're rocking it, or you wash it after?
No. At the ends, you can leave in your hair.
Okay. Leave in, but because you don't want to have a greasy look going.
Yeah. And if you look like you've just come out of the swimming pool, you've used too much oil on your head.
Yeah. So. Yeah. That sucks. You're like, I just washed it. I have to fucking wash it again. But I just do it on hair wash day, which is not actually very often for me.
Yeah, that's why I use it twice a week, is because I wash my hair twice a week. And the other part too is if you're working out, say you work out daily and you sweat daily, then you should be washing your scalp daily. And I know that for so many people, it's one of those like, oh, you shouldn't wash your scalp because it strips it. Yes, that's true. But if you're putting oil or sweat all over your scalp, that's not great for your skin either. So you want a clean scalp. So just watch.
Yeah, I work out, but I'm not a big sweater in my head. So that's good.
Yeah.
I work out daily. Yeah, I'm lucky. Seriously. And even I wear toques and I take the toque off and I'm not. But everyone's different. But I couldn't imagine washing my hair every day.
No,
not when it's long.
But not since then.
Like when it's short, fine. And I've had short hair, but not long. Okay, we could talk all the live long day. You can find Jill on, she said, Instagram and TikTok and everywhere. She's up on social media, now on Facebook. Thank you for coming on, Jill. We love hearing about your product and that you are inspiring people through example, starting these businesses, because it means so much to me as a female entrepreneur. First of all, when you started your first business, and now taking on this new endeavor, as well as filling in those gaps that you see and going for it, but also just being a conscious and ethical business, and that everyone can turn to and maybe do some research and maybe save some people from getting sick in the future. That would be pretty cool.
That would be great.
Right? Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great day, my friend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
If you want to feel empowered and inspired, like and subscribe for more. And if you want to get creative, check out all our art hacks on this channel.